So, what the hell did I just watch? In fact, what the hell did I just watch twice? Yes, twice. I just got done watching the new trailer for the 2016 reboot, remake, quasi sequel, we don't know what the hell we're doing, film for the Ghostbusters. And I have to say, it was quite underwhelming. I don't even know where to begin. So how about I begin in the beginning? Trailer number one. 30 years ago. 30 years ago. Yup. 4 scientists saved the world. And now a new team answers the call. There's a problem there, people. Technically speaking, if we really want to get into the logistics of everything, it was 2 scientists, a social scientist, which isn't regarded as a true science for most pure scientists, and an ex-Marine that had all of his exposition and backstory kind of cut out of the film. So really it should have been 2 scientists, a social scientist, and a Marine save the world. Now, in the international trailer, trailer number 2, they kind of fixed that, which is okay, I guess, but really, it's just... I personally, if I ran the studio, I would leave it the same because that's acknowledging that we fucked up. Maybe, just maybe, they can say somewhere along the line, Winston went back to school and he got his PhD and he's also a scientist. Maybe he studied sociology or anthropology or something of that nature. And it would kind of get him out of the doghouse of just being the black driver. So anyway, I was going to do a reaction video, to be completely honest with you, Internet. But I realized that I am not that great of an actor, so it would be kind of moot to sit there and pretend that I was either shocked or appalled at what I was watching, even though evidence has proven that I am both. I'm shocked. I'm appalled. Everyone knows how I feel about Ghostbusters. I was not young enough to catch the craze in the 80s. I did see the first Ghostbusters, second Ghostbusters rather, I saw it in theaters. I was a baby, so don't really remember much of anything. I mean, parents really need to stop doing that. Stop bringing your children to movies, alright? Once you have kids, fun time's over. Don't leave them with babysitters either, because, you know, diddlers and all that good stuff. So my knowledge of Ghostbusters as a kid came from Extreme Ghostbusters, which I adored, and Ghostbusters 2, which I thought was great until I grew up a bit and realized that it was just a really mediocre retreading of the first film. Which is kind of what this is, only it doesn't have the charm of bringing back the original cast. Yes, a lot of the jokes in Ghostbusters 2 kind of fell flat in comparison to the first film, but the first film is what it is. It is one of those I believe to be sacred cows of Hollywood that should not be touched, it should not be updated, it should be left alone. And if you have a similar idea, then how about you can probably use the old cast to push things forward. It's real simple. It's kind of like running a marathon. You bring an original cast member back, you pass the torch to this new cast. This new cast makes their own legacy, they pass the torch to the next generation. I don't understand why these studios are intent in shooting themselves in the foot. I am not against the idea of female Ghostbusters. I am a feminist, meaning that I'm made up of several different body parts. But part of me is a feminist, and I acknowledge that women are equal sides to an equation. So I wouldn't have been upset if they did a Ghostbusters film where they kind of did a half and half, or if they wanted to do 5 Ghostbusters and then throw in 2 girls and 3 guys, or hell, even do a Saved by the Bell and have 3 on each side. It'd be kind of cool. It's like you're not really changing or progressing the idea that the original set out to do, or the idea that the original put out there, you're taking it and you're just changing the window dressing. So, for instance, in the trailer, we saw a lot of the same beats as in the first film, only not as funny. I feel like having male and female comedians together, you can get two different perspectives on how to approach something in a comedic way. When it's just women, I feel like a lot of women, especially in Hollywood, have to go out of their way to prove that they're funny to male audiences, so they might go a little bit over the top, which we've seen in plenty of films in the past, I want to say maybe 2 decades. You know what? It's funny. I'm not really that upset that this film is being made. I'm upset that the studio is so lazy. Yes, it's an all-female cast. We're over that. Whatever, it is what it is. But we have a lot of the original cast coming back as cameos, but as characters other than the characters they played in the original. Simple way to fix all of this, and you would still have time to just shoot it. Ghostbusters, obviously they all got old. Harold Ramis is no longer with us. Rest his soul. You have to move on. What they should have used these cameos to do is establish the idea that Ghostbusters went international. Why? Because ghosts are everywhere, not just in New York. There are ghosts in Boston. There's ghosts, I would think, everywhere people have died. There would be ghosts. And each film, if they wanted to branch this off, could have been its own thing. But it wasn't. I'm telling you, it's simple. They incorporated, because they got old, they're opening up branches all over the world. This particular branch just opened, and it was opened with the idea that these 4 women were incapable, or 3 to start off with, and then the token black woman comes along afterwards. It would have been cool to just been like, okay, well, we don't really have faith in these 3 women, but we're going to give them like our Brooklyn branch or something like that, and we'll drop in every once in a while and do assessments to see how they're doing and track their progress. That would have been a really good idea. And what it would have done is, even if this movie sucked, which I'm pretty certain it's going to suck, what would have made it really good is that even if it's bad, it opens up the door to make a potentially good film down the road. Or even revisiting the original cast, like maybe they have you could do a film where they're handpicking their A squad. And then they could be the guys that you pass the torch to, and that could be like the new main franchise. And then if people want to see more female Ghostbusters, they could always branch that off. It's sad because I think the budget of this film, production budget, is $154 million. If memory serves me correctly, you have to excuse me, I'm a bit old. I've been trudging it about since 1931, so imagine that. Yeah, I mean, shit. Everyone that knows movies, knows the business, knows that if you have a production budget of $154 million, you kind of need to make back double what you spent on that in order to break even. And we're not even factoring in, like I said, we're not even factoring in marketing, but it looks like a very minuscule amount of money is going towards marketing. It's not like you're seeing marketing for it everywhere. Hell, we didn't get a trailer until recently, and the film comes out in July. So I'm pretty certain the marketing is probably, I don't even want to say it's the standard additional $40 million that these normal big budget studio films accrue on top of the production budget. So let's say Ghostbusters 2016. Say the production budget chimes in a little bit under $200 million. They're gonna have to make $400 million just to break even, and then they're gonna have to make more than that to call it a profit and not a loss. And I don't know if there's enough passionate Ghostbusters fans that will give this the time of day, regardless of how they feel as if it's stepping on the legacy of the original. So it's gonna be interesting to see, especially since it comes out in July. And we all know it comes out in July. The Purge election year, which I'm actually very excited for, and the new ID4 movie, which actually I'm quite excited for too, because Alien Invasions just tickled my sweet spot. Not to mention, people would have already seen Batman vs. Superman multiple times. They would have seen Civil War multiple times. maybe even have seen X-Men multiple times. They might have even have seen Ninja Turtles 2 multiple times. By the time it comes around to spending money on this film, people might just say, you know what, I'm going to pass and wait for Suicide Squad to come out. I can definitely say with all honesty that I'm going to pirate it. Or I'm going to sneak in. So if you see me at the theater, and I mean, come on, I'm pretty damn noticeable. If you see me walking into Ghostbusters 2016, chances are I didn't purchase a ticket. And you should probably check me because I didn't purchase a ticket. And that's not my fault. That's Sony's fault. That's a little bit my fault because I really shouldn't have any interest in this piece of crap to begin with. And yes, I am being prejudiced and I am judging it ahead of time and calling it crap. If it smells like crap, it looks like crap, and it tastes like crap, then chances are it's crap. And that's all I have to say about that. Anyway, you guys, in this whole little YouTube land, you go look down here. I'm looking. You want to leave your comments and all that good stuff. Thumbs up, thumbs down. You could tell me I suck, all that good stuff. But in the end, it's not going to change the almost fact that this film, at best, will be mediocre. Even if it's good. Because, in the end, it will still be in the shadow of something much greater